Welcome to Rate My Plate, where I rate how helpful or hurtful your plates are in autoimmune healing. I love this plate as an example because there are some things that are incredible about it, but also some things that I would caution against. Let's dive right in. First, this plate has incredible balance. So, if you're somebody who's just starting out on your autoimmune journey and really working on getting that nutrient balance in, this is a great example. It follows what I call a power plate, which means the plate has whole food carbs, but they're balanced with protein, fiber, and fat. And that's exactly what this plate has. However, this plate could be potentially causing you issues because it has a lot of potential trigger foods. Now, before we dive into the triggers, I do not want you thinking that you need to cut all of these out, but I do want to address them in case they could be issues for you. First, this plate does contain soy from the tofu, and soy can be a pretty big trigger for people. So, if you're somebody who's done a lot of the basic work, but you're still having symptoms, it could be worth considering an elimination with soy and potentially a few other foods for a short term to see if those do bother you. Next, this plate is absolutely loaded with nightshades. We see them in the peppers, the eggplant, and the spices. Nightshades are compounds in plants that can be potentially triggering to joint pain, particularly if you're someone with an autoimmune condition that attacks your joints. I'll be very honest, I only cut nightshades with a very small percentage of my clients, but it is worth noting. Last but not least, we have the rice. I find the majority of my autoimmune clients don't tolerate grains very well, even if they are whole grains like brown rice or quinoa. Even for myself, I'm now about 8 years into remission and I still eat a pretty low grain diet because I notice more flare symptoms if my grain intake gets too high. All in, I would rate this plate about a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of great balance. The structure is there, but it does have a lot of triggers that could be exacerbating your symptoms. If you want me to rate your plate for how it helps or hurts your autoimmune healing, DM me a picture and I'll include it in a future video.